Hello everyone. In this particular video, we are going to learn about architecture of 8085 microprocessor. So let's get started. So first of all, the first term which will come in our way will be register. Registers are hardware present in the processor which store memory. They are made up of flip-flops. So I have already told you about flip-flops in the previous video. So if you don't watch my previous video, I will highly recommend you to watch that particular video and then start this particular video. So registers are hardware present in processor which stores memory. So there will be some value which will be stored in these particular registers. So moving on. So now let me just explain you what is the structure of register. So consider that we are having 8-bit register. So 35H is a 8-bit number here, and in this way it will be storing the value of 35H. So here you can see that I have used binary numbers here. So 3 will be represented as 0011 and 5 will be represented as 0101. So if you want to understand how this I have done, so it's just a simple rule. Let me just use my pen, then I will explain you. So you have to remember this particular law: 8, 4, 2 and 1. So this particular rule is used for you making binary numbers. So if you want to make 3 as a binary number in 4-bit digits, then you can use 0, 0 and 1, 1. Like the value of 8 will be 0, value of 4 will be 0, and value of 2 is 1, means 2 is there, and 1 is there, means 1 is there. So 2 plus 1 will be 3. So this is how the value of 3 is being made in binary. So similarly you can make value of 5 also. So I hope that you would have understood it. So let's move forward.
So the next term which will be used will be buses. So buses are just set of lines, and these are of two types, address bus and data bus. So address bus will have address in them and data bus will have data in them. So if you want to take a certain value from one part of the microprocessor to another part, then we will use these buses, and address buses will contain address and data bus will contain data. So now let's move forward. So guys, this is the complete architecture structure of 8085 microprocessor. So here you can see that it is a very large kind of structure and it seems to be difficult to you. But don't worry guys, I will explain you each and everything of this particular structure and then you can easily understand it. So before understanding this, we have to understand something different stuff. So let's get started with that. So let's move forward. So consider that this is a particular processor we are having, a particular microprocessor here, and here you can see that microprocessor have a program counter. It is a special kind of register which contains some kind of addresses, and those addresses are 16-bit. So here you can see that 1000 is the address present in program counter. So here you can see that. Let me just use my pen, then I can easily explain you. So this is a particular address which program counter contains, and you are already aware about memory that at that particular address some kind of value is located, some kind of data or program is located here. So if we have that particular address, we can easily locate that value. So the processor what do here, that using this particular address, it just fetch the value which is present in the memory at that certain location. So using this address and this address bus, the processor will fetch this particular value 1 using the address value which is present in micro program counter here. So here you can see that program counter is very important to fetch the values present in memory. So once the value is fetched here, simultaneously at that particular fetching process, the program counter will directly get incremented. So means now the program counter will not have value 1000. It will have value 1001, means the address is being incremented. So as the value of 1 will have been fetched here, it will come back to the processor here using the data bus value. Because one value is here as data, so it will travel back to the processor using data bus. And it will get stored into instruction register. This is instruction register. So this particular value might be an instruction, and then it will get stored in this particular instruction register. So after getting stored in the instruction register, we have to decode what kind of instruction it is, what kind of data it is, what kind of program it is. So the instruction decoder will be used here. Here you can see that we are using instruction decoder. So now I hope that you having some kind of glimpse of what exactly is going on in processor. So here you can see that these are particular programs or instructions stored in memory, and we have some kind of addresses to locate those instructions or data. So now let's get back to the main structure of our architecture. So we have understood about instruction register, instruction decoder, and program counter. So here you can see that program counter is a 16-bit register here, and you can easily see that we are having two buses from A15 to A8. So these are particular pins which are designated only for address. I will explain you about the pins in the pin diagram video, so don't worry about it. And this particular pins are A7 to A0 and D7 to D0. Basically, this is a multiplex bus in which address can also be present or data can also be present. So don't worry about it. I will explain you this stuff in pin diagram video. So let's get started from where we have left. So we have understood about instruction register, instruction decoder, and about how the address bus and data bus is being used. Here you can see that we are having B, D, H. These are special kind of register here, or you can say general purpose registers, which are 8-bit. Here you can see that all are 8-bit. We can use them as pair also, like HL pair, DE pair, BC pair. So you can also see a SP here. This is stack pointer. So basically you might be have learned about stack in programming. So stack pointer is a 16-bit register in which it will just point to the top of the stack. So I hope that you have some kind of knowledge regarding stack. It is basic thing in C programming and C++ programming. So now let's try to understand about this particular A register. So let me get back here. Let me just use my pen. So here you can see that this particular A register is present here. So it is basically called accumulator. So basically it just accumulate different kind of values. So let's get a certain example here. Like we have to add two different types of values like 2 plus 8. So consider that 8 values already present in this particular register 8, and we have to add two values. So we are trying to add 2 plus 8. So the 2 value will go into the 8-bit internal bus here and will get stored into this particular temporary register. So it is also a 8-bit register here, and the value will get stored here. So once both the values get stored here, they will directly go into ALU. Here you can see that ALU is present, which is called arithmetic logical unit. So it will perform different kind of arithmetic operations, logical operations, as by name you can understand it. And both the values get added here, and we will get 10 value here. 8 plus 2 is 10, and it will get back into the 8-bit internal data bus. So once the value is being present in 8-bit internal data bus, it will again go into accumulator and get stored into it. So now the accumulator contains 10 value. So I hope that you have understood what accumulator, temporary register and ALU are and how they perform different kind of operations. You can also see a flag register here, or it is called a status flag. So basically it will just tell us the status of the value, like what are the sign of the value is, like it is positive or negative, and we will learn about status flag in any other video. It is not required here to learn much more about it. So you can just understand that it will just give the status of the value which is being the result of that particular ALU operation. So I hope that you would have understood everything up till this point of time. So we have learned about this A register, temporary register, flag and ALU. Here you can see the timing and control circuit. So this particular timing and control circuit have different kind of instructions. Here you can see that clock out, ready. So these are different kind of pins which have certain kind of job, and we will learn about these pins in the pin diagram video. So don't worry about it. Here you can see that serial control. These are another kind of pins which will be taught you in the pin diagram video. So don't worry about it. So I hope that now the structure of the architecture is little easy to understand, and I hope that you would have understood everything in this particular video. So thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned, guys.